Yo, what's up? What's up? It's the Hungry Millennial back with another proactive pragmatism. Today's proactive pragmatism is based off of the quote that states, "If you want to succeed, avoid those with false purpose," by the Robert Greene. So here's the funny thing: on life's journey, you're gonna find yourself looking for health opportunities, wealth opportunities, and educational opportunities. But what happens along that way is you're gonna run into friends, family, even coworkers, past colleagues. They're like, that's a wonderful idea. That idea is great. I want to help you along this journey. But one thing you have to be aware of is that false purpose. What are they actually getting out of it? Are they looking for the money, the fame, the attention, the notoriety, the accolades? The problem is like in the realm of success, it can take a really long time to accrue any accolades or fame or attention. And if you're at a point where you're building, it's not going to be. It might be appealing at first, but it's going to be a haul. You're going to have to make sacrifices that you never thought you were going to make before, and many times it's going to take resources. It's going to take time, and it's going to take a massive amount of work ethic. The problem is in this instant society, everything is on display as if it hasn't been built up within 10, 20, 30 years of hard work. Colonel Sanders didn't get rich until he was well into his 60s and had failed at multiple business ventures. The same with Ray Kroc. And so because we have the ability to advertise and to reach audiences at a massive level, a lot of people, they get these ideas, but their track record, their history has shown inconsistent work ethic. And because their friends, family, and past colleagues are like, yeah, I like this person on a personal level, but if we're being completely honest with ourselves, if you just if you separate the person and the face and the picture from the actual history of work ethic, the actual job history, and the actual characteristics that it takes to be a part of your company, or the little whatever you want to create your brand, what you'll find is those things don't measure up to actually what you're looking for. In a lot of cases, you want to avoid the people that are going to tell you, yeah, that's good, yeah, that's great, the yes people. You want people on your team that are going to be able to critically think. And this doesn't have to tie to an entrepreneurial standpoint or anything like that. It could be in the realm of education. You going back to school and you want some information about a job field, and your friend is telling you about what another friend is doing. That might not be the healthiest situation. You might want to go talk to somebody who's actually in that field and get viable advice of the pros and the cons. See, what happens is people hear about different opportunities out here. They hear about politics. They hear about different changes to the work environment. They're like, oh, that sounds good and that sounds great, until you actually have to operate underneath those circumstances. So, for instance, the other day I was online conversing with people, and they were talking about working 4/10s versus working 5 days a week. Yeah, that might work for your job occupation, but if states start making legislation that does that for everybody, that's going to affect states' infrastructure. So roads and highways and businesses and all those different things are going to be at a slowing halt. People are going to be at home later. People are going to have to seek out other childcare. If it's 10 hours versus 8 hours, a lot of people don't even get productive during, 25% of days at work. Studies show that most people aren't even being productive. So imagine somebody working 4/10s just so they can get out on a Friday. You think things aren't getting done now, watch things not get done then. So if you want to succeed at anything, it could be, workout routines. With workout routines, you're going to need consistency. And what I found it really hard to do is to include somebody else into my workout routines because I got to get it in um, by any means necessary. Like I try not to skip workouts, and I try to make sure I'm getting in my 5 days a week, no matter what. Even if I gotta work a closing shift after uh, working an opening shift, I'm still trying to find a way to get that in. Maybe I gotta do it on Saturday. Maybe I gotta find some other way to attack said goal, but I'm trying to get it done. And what I find is a lot of people, they don't really want to work out. They don't really want to get better. They typically just want to post up and say that they're doing something because that euphoric feeling that they're a part of something else, that euphoric feeling that they're doing something else, when the results and the reality is they really haven't been putting in the work. Like we live in a society where people get motivated and pumped up by songs, but they haven't been putting in any work. So that motivation is fleeting, and you have to be able to create habits inside of a system that are going to keep you going, because motivation will dissipate, and your discipline may be the only thing that's going to hold you up to a higher standard. And so when things get rough, when things get tough, everybody wants a solution. Everybody wants that instant pay, but you haven't been putting in the work. You don't have a resume. A lot of people don't have resumes to show that they are even applicable, that they even have job experience to get into a certain realm, to even work for you, that they're even qualified to be even putting in the work that they say they're going to put in. And I know qualifications aren't everything, but if you haven't shown me that you have operational experience in anything, and then you also show me that you don't have the ability to critically think and to grab the information that's right in front of you in the internet age, we have a problem. And the sooner that you're able to stomp that problem out and eliminate that person, it might suck, right? Because nobody wants to go it alone, but sometimes it's best to go it alone and then figure it out later once you have a better infrastructure, and figure out how you can be involved with that person. Maybe it's not completely cutting that person off, but at the same time, you have to realize, what is the goal? Search for the objective truth. And that objective truth may mean that they have a false purpose and they're not good for your brand and they're not good for your organization. You can still be friends with this person, but most family ventures, even family ventures that like the parent has set up something for 20 years, they've been putting in all this work, it doesn't translate to the child taking over. And they end up ruining their brand and their organization because they don't have structure in place. They just have love for their kids and their children. And now they're lonely sitting in a nursing home, having their kids drive them by their old business because their business went flat because that person, their child was underneath the guise that things were going to be easy, that things were going to be just instant. He was just going to get in, make a lot of cash flow. But they weren't ready for the stress because they weren't trained for that stress. They didn't have the proper work experience, and they didn't get the proper appraisal in their lives. So, yet again, I appreciate you checking out this proactive pragmatism. If you want to succeed, avoid those with false purpose. Start vetting your friends, your family, your colleagues, people that you want to go into ventures with. Look at it from an objective standpoint. Is this going to get the job done? Is this going to accomplish the goal? If not, a lot of times you just got to keep it moving. Listen, Hungry Millennial, I appreciate you checking in. Appreciate you checking in on this podcast. Have a great day. Thank you.